America is under attack, not from our enemies abroad, but from the politicians in Washington who refuse to do their jobs. Democrats are blocking President Trump's nominees, leaving our nation vulnerable while China gains ground. This is sabotage, plain and simple, and it's time we call it out.
Class Americans, they are left without leadership. Our colleagues have sought to protect this country by obstructing the very exercise of the people's will, ensuring it is incapable of meeting the challenges of the moment. So here we are, Mr. President, on a Saturday in August, voting on the president's nominees because our colleagues can... You could just plug and play the same speech because apparently everyone nominated by President Trump to every position that we have to confirm as a body is wholly unqualified. That's what the Democrats would have you believe. In fact, I don't think we've heard much else about any of the nominations. And if you look at the statistics going back administration after administration, Democrat and Republican, at this point in time, you saw 90% of non-military civilian nominees confirmed. And how many of President Trump's administration have we confirmed? 0. It's almost as though they're trying to thwart the will of the American people. I stand here to reflect on a situation that I am astounded by as the newest U.S. Senator. In November 2024, the American people elected President Trump to be the 47th president of this nation. And with that election, the people expressed their will in seeing this country move down a new path, a better path, a stronger and safer path, a path where leaders actually looked at the well-being of this country and the security of this country and the interests of our people and made common sense policy decisions based on that, and not some radical wish list that filled some Marxist governing philosophy. How about we get back to the founding ideals of this nation? How did the colleagues on the other side of the aisle respond to that election? What have we seen since January of this year when the 119th Congress set out to do the people's work? We've seen obstruction. It was the same response they've always had, a blend of histrionics and performance theater. Instead of committing to the calls for reflection from within their own party, in the aftermath of an electoral loss, they resorted to obstruction in the name of democracy. In the name of democracy. I find it strange, Mr. President, that in protecting democracy, it requires ignoring the will of the people. Here in the Senate, both on the floor and in our committees, we have found that carrying out the people's will is being stymied every step of the way. We've seen presidential nominees and legislation as opportunities for a performance. And every day this goes on, important positions critical to the national security and the well-being of this country and improving the lives of our citizens, those positions go left unfilled. So while China continues to staff their diplomatic postings abroad and undercut the prosperity of our country, our embassies go without ambassadors. As our domestic departments seek to unleash the American economy for the benefit of the working class Americans, they are left without leadership. Our colleagues have sought to protect this country by obstructing the very exercise of the people's will, ensuring it is incapable of meeting the challenges of the moment. So here we are, Mr. President, on a Saturday in August, voting on the president's nominees because our colleagues continue to hold out. This ultimately places this body and our nation at a crossroads. If we continue down this path, if we continue to allow obstruction at every turn, or continue to allow people on the other side of the aisle to gain personal points or even political points, we weaken this body, created by the framers to carry out the responsibilities the American people have asked of us, protecting our liberty and protecting this union. I hope that our colleagues will avoid this path and join us in moving forward with putting Americans and America first. Thank you, Mr.
Welcome back to Jace Manhwa. If you're tired of the lies from the mainstream media and want real truth from a patriotic perspective, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Now, I just watched this Senate speech and I've got to tell you, it's exactly what Americans need to hear. For 6 months now, we've watched the Democrats do everything in their power to obstruct President Trump and his administration. Historically, by this point, about 90% of a president's civilian nominees would already be confirmed. But under Trump? Not because they're unqualified, but because the Democrats would rather cripple this country than admit they lost in 2024. Let's be honest here. The American people spoke loud and clear in November. They wanted a new direction, stronger borders, safer streets, and policies that put working-class Americans first. But instead of respecting that, Democrats are staging political theater. They call it protecting democracy, but how is it democracy if you ignore the will of the voters? While China is staffing their embassies and building their global influence, our own diplomatic posts sit empty because Democrats refuse to confirm Trump's picks. Meanwhile, key agencies that could be working to unleash our economy are left leaderless. And for what? So the left can score political points while the American people pay the price. This is why we find ourselves in the Senate on a Saturday in August, because the obstruction never stops. But here's the truth. If this continues, it will weaken not just the Senate, but the entire country. The founders designed this body to function, not to be hijacked by partisans who hate the outcome of an election. I stand with this senator's message. It's time to stop the games and start putting America first. No more delays, no more excuses. The American people elected Trump to fix this country, and it's time the Senate did its job. If you agree that enough is enough, hit that like button and share this video with every patriot you know. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Jace Manhwa for more unfiltered truth. America comes first, and it's time Washington remembered that.